It's been a while since I've done one of these. Y'all. I'm trying to get my notes together here because I don't. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee Dee and today I'm going to be making a nursing video for you guys. If you're new to this channel, stop what you're doing, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at what Dee Dee said. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I became an OR nurse. For those of you who don't know what that is, an OR nurse is an operating room nurse. And some of you guys have been following me for a very long time. So literally 3 years ago, you guys were wishing me good luck on taking my NCLEX. Here we are 3 years later, I'm a nurse and I'm gonna start making more content about nursing. So my story about how I became an operating room nurse is very unique. So just a little background story. Years ago, I wanted to be a nurse. I applied. I got into a local nursing school program in my area, started going to school. While I was in nursing school, I got my CNA and I really wanted to know exactly what I wanted to do when I finished with nursing school, so I decided to work as a CNA at a local hospital. When I worked as a CNA and even when I went to clinicals, I realized that nothing really stuck out to me as like my interest. I would go to clinical and I would go to work, but nothing really like stuck to me or clicked. Some people go into nursing school knowing exactly what they want to be, what unit they want to work on, what specialty they want to have, and I literally was totally clueless the entire time. So it's okay if you're clueless, because I was definitely clueless also, had no clue what was about to hit me. Also, quickly, a CNA is a certified nursing assistant. It's somebody who is an aide to the nurse who helps take care of the patients no matter what settings you're in. So they're trained people also who are able to take care of patients. But back to the point, when I was working as a CNA, I would basically watch the nurses and kind of see what they were doing. I worked on an orthopedic and urology floor, so we had a lot of patients that were like post-op from back surgery, knee surgery, some type of trauma, and our floor had a lot of overflow also, so it was kind of med-surg and we were able to take care of like a vast array of patients. But at the time when I was a CNA, I would basically just watch what the nurses were doing and see what their day-to-day lives were. And watching them, it was really interesting. They were doing some really cool things, but I knew that being on that specific unit was not for me. Not to mention all the drama that was on that unit. That's a whole separate video. I'm not airing anybody out, y'all. I'm not that messy, but I definitely do want to touch on the subject of nurses eating their young, so I will definitely be making a video about that also. But back to the point, I worked as a CNA, saw what the nurses would do, and at a hospital or within a clinical setting, sometimes you get floated to other departments and units. So I got floated to an actual med-surg floor. I got floated to the ICU. The ICU was really cool, but it was definitely a heavy hitter. I felt overwhelmed and I definitely knew that it wasn't for me. Like if I had a choice and I wanted to go do bedside nursing, I think I would start with the ICU, but honestly, I realized that it really wasn't for me straight off the bat, just watching what the other nurses were doing. Also, I had a couple of people around me that were already nurses and in the nursing field, so I would basically just ask them what their day-to-day lives were, their responsibilities, if they liked it or not, and what their advice would be. So when I finished nursing school, I studied for about a month, sat for my boards, passed with 75 questions. Yay! Littest moment ever of my life, but I was definitely dying. If you haven't seen the 50 Shades of Fear video, passing the NCLEX, I'm gonna put a little, sorry, I'm holding my phone. I'm gonna put a little card here. Just go and watch it and you can see how busted, raggedy, stressed that I was during that time. When I was ready to start applying for jobs, I definitely realized that I was procrastinating and I wasn't ready. Some of my peers had already started applying for jobs in like April, like March, like even May before we graduated, and I was here in June and frantic and panicking about taking exams and trying to also secure a job at the same time. Like I knew nothing about having to apply earlier. Like they definitely said it, but was I listening? I don't think so. So I would go to job fairs at hospitals And after doing the interviews, I would ask to see the unit so that I can get a vibe for what's going on a unit or how it feels. So fast forward, I kept applying for jobs. I got a couple of them. I had a couple of offers just waiting for me. But deep within my heart, I knew I didn't want to take any of them. And I knew I didn't want to do med-surg. So I was kind of stuck. Like, I was like, okay, am I going to just settle and do what everybody else tells me to do and just be like a med-surg nurse and just deal with it? Or am I going to try to like branch out and figure something out? Honestly, I didn't have a plan. I had no clue what I was going to do. Had no clue what I wanted to do. And I just kind of felt like I was in limbo and I was just stuck. Meanwhile, all my friends and everybody around me had secured jobs. Like, some people were in ICU, some people got the ED jobs, like so many different people got jobs. And I was just kind of like, I don't want to work on a unit that I'm currently working on as a CNA. That job was offered to me, but the offer was so messed up in itself that I didn't even want to work there. Like I said, it's gonna be a whole different video. But I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So fast forward, I was at home and there was a local job fair with a hospital that was like 10 minutes from my house. And I was supposed to go to that job fair, but I decided that I didn't want to go to it. So I was just like laying in bed, and it was like maybe 3 something, like 4 o'clock at that time, maybe 3 something. And my boyfriend called me and was like, are you done looking for jobs? Like, what are you doing today? I was like, I'm just stressed, like thinking about this job situation. He's like, weren't you supposed to go to a job fair at this hospital today, like at your local hospital? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't really want to work there. I don't even care. And he's like, nah, get the hell up. You need to go apply for jobs. You're not about to be sulking in the house. Like, you were supposed to go to that job fair. It's a part of your agenda. Go there and see what they say, see what's available. So last minute, I like powdered my face. I looked messed up, honestly. I like threw on a blazer. It was a hot summer day. I put on like long pants, booties, threw on a blazer, sweating by the time I got there. And I just went into the job fair and there was literally barely anybody there. Like, they were closing up. People were like leaving, shaking hands, ending their interviews. And I kind of walked in and I walked up to one of the recruiters and I was like, hi, I'm a new grad nurse and I'm interested in securing myself a job. And the recruiter, she was amazing, and she was like, what do you want to do? Like, what are you interested in? And I said, if I'm 1000% honest with you guys, don't try this. First of all, don't be 1000% honest. Like, be honest with yourself, but find a way to be honest with other people in the professional realm in a different way. Like, don't do what I did. But I basically told the recruiter I had no clue what I wanted to do. I didn't have an interest on being a floor nurse, which was no number one. And I basically was just my normal self. I was literally just being myself. I was like, I have no clue what I want to do. I don't want to work on a floor. I maybe like ICU. So then she's like, sit down, and she starts asking me questions. She's like, so if you get a new computer or a new appliance, are you the read the instructions type of person or the figure it out type of person? I'm like, I am definitely the figure it out type of person. And she was just like, oh, good. And she's like, I have someone I want you to meet. And she's like, you know, it's getting late in the day. Let's just get this going. I have someone I want you to meet. So then she goes and gets the OR director, and she comes out and she starts talking to me, and she asked me a bunch of questions. And the OR director was just like, oh, on my unit, we're a big family. To a certain extent they are, but she's like, we're a big family, we love each other, we're this, the doctors are crazy. She wasn't lying about that. And have you ever heard of an operating room? I was like, no. She's like, how about I get you connected with the educator? She brings you in for a share day. You can check it out. And if you like it, the job is yours. If you don't, then good luck to you. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, like she literally, I was like, wow, this is just all aligning. I had no clue what the OR was at that point. Like, I had an idea, but I really didn't have a clue. So basically just a side note, when I was in nursing school, I didn't really get to see the OR. I went maybe about once, and that was it. And I saw a nephrectomy when I went. but I had no clue what the OR really was. I just saw like the hustle and bustle of it, and I thought it was cool back then. So when the offer came up and she's like, yeah, you can do a shadow day, check it out. If you like it, the job is yours. If not, then good luck. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna check it out. And I was really excited. So fast forward, I took the job, I got to shadow. After the shadow day, I officially accepted my offer, and I went ahead and signed up and signed the contract and everything, got all my clearances, and then I got put into this program with a cohort of other people, 2 other people. Hey Morgan, hey Tony if you're watching. I got put into a cohort with them called the perioperative training, and so it was like a little program where they taught us about the OR, everything about the OR, machinery, sterile processing, sterile procedures. We had to learn instrumentation. It was literally like a whole different world of nursing that I had never heard about, that teachers don't tell you about when you're undergrad. So it was definitely a cool experience, and I got to learn a lot. It's been interesting. If you want to hear more about this kind of stuff, please let me know and I can make more videos. But that's the story about how I became an operating room nurse. And yeah. Oh, it's important to note, when you first get out of school, you have to really be careful what you pick. So because I did not go straight onto a floor, I lost a lot of my clinical skills that most people actually strengthen when they start working on floors. So that's the one downside. And you know, it's unfortunate, but for what I want to do in my life and with my career, it wasn't necessarily necessary for me. Necessarily necessary, it's like a tongue twister, but it wasn't necessary for me to work on a floor because of where I want to go in life and what I want to do with my degree. So it worked out. But if you're the kind of person who really needs those clinical skills for whatever your path is bringing you to, then I would definitely suggest working on a unit that you're okay with on a floor, getting those clinical skills, and then if you're interested in OR nursing at a later time in life, then you can always do it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them below in the comment box. Don't forget to like this video, share it with other people, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Like I said, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.